Hello, everyone, and welcome to the live stream watch along of the last UEFA Champions League game of this season for RB Leipzig. I am your host, Justin Crozer. If you can hear me okay, make sure that you let me know, and also let me know where you're from and any predictions you would like to say in today's game. Having a look at the lineups today, Martin van der Voort gains his start, which was a little surprising. I thought Peter Galacci would still be in goal. Let me just bring up the stat stuff here. So Lewis Openda and Christoph Baumgartner will be up front, and Yusuf Poulsen looks to be playing as a number 10 with Xavi Simons on the bench. Tonio Nusa is starting alongside Vermeeren and Haidara, with Gertruda out on the right as we're playing in a 3-4-1-2, which is a little surprising. Back three of Bishebu, Orban and Seiwald, where I thought Willie Orban could have actually been rested today as well. If you haven't seen the last guest video of the podcast, I was sat down with Dan and Archie Smith, two UK Sturm Graz fans. So I should say Sturm Graz fans. And hopefully if they're watching this evening, welcome to you guys as well. And that's hopefully for a good attacking game as you have predicted. Welcome to everyone coming through as well. Just slowly trickling in. Let me know what you think the scoreline predictions will be this evening. Make sure that we've got our refreshments. We're ready to go. We're also streaming over on Instagram as well. We're streaming absolutely everywhere this evening. We're streaming on YouTube, over on Twitch, over on X, over on Instagram as well. If you're watching it over on Instagram, please make sure that you comment along so I can get your comments and go from there. Scoreline predictions for this evening, anyone? What would you think is going to happen? Do you think that we will see young Vigo Gebel at any point this evening? I was quite disappointed that he was not starting in this fixture, to be blatantly honest. I thought that he could actually have had been spoken to about coming onto the pitch. And R09 Louis fan over on Instagram says 1-0 win. I do apologise that I won't be able to actually interact with you guys over on Instagram, as in showing it up on the feed here. But if you would like to get involved with the show and be highlighted, please make sure that you go over onto YouTube, over on Twitch, or over on X, and I'll be able to highlight your comments as well. Just building to fever pitch with the kickoff not far away. Players are just walking out onto the pitch now. Willie Orban and the Sturm Graz captain are changing over the traditional things that they change over. Toss has been done. Can't speak early this morning, even though I'm fully wide awake. There we go. For some reason, that was being a bit of a pain over on Instagram. We've just had to refresh that feed. That looks perfectly fine now. Sturm in UK over on Instagram. Lads, thank you for checking in. If you want me to highlight any of your comments this evening, please make sure to jump over onto the X account of yours so I can highlight it. But they've said stadium looks nice and full, atmosphere is good. Come on, Sturm. And we have kickoff. Let's make sure that we put up the score as well. What do you think the scoreline predictions will be for both sides? The lads from Sturm Graz UK have said a 1-1 draw. My prediction for the podcast episode, surprisingly enough, was way above that, which was a 3-0. And hopefully that it isn't going to be a massive whitewash on the other hand for Sturm Graz being able to beat teams also up to 7-0. So we need to take this one carefully. We can't just be thinking that this is a walk in the park, as Nicholas Seiwald does the first error this evening, down playing at right centre back with a back three. Don't mind me, I'm just cleaning up a little bit of mess that I've put on my mouse and desk for some reason. Both teams at the moment are just playing between themselves. Sturm Graz are getting the ball just up towards the halfway line of the pitch, just playing towards their back three now. Baumgartner's putting some pressure on. Gertrude now wins the ball back from that pressure. And Christoph Baumgartner, the Austrian this evening. There'll be two Austrians out on the pitch for RB Leipzig. They would be Nicholas Seiwald and Christoph Baumgartner, as it looks like there was a foul on a Sturm Graz player, but the official has waved that on, and another poor pass from RB Leipzig as that goes out of play for a throw-in for Sturm Graz out on the left-hand side, right-hand side for Sturm Graz. RBL managed to win the ball back quite well, though, as Gertrude has the ball, crosses towards the back far post, as he is down on the right-hand side. Just let me chat away to the Instagram people over there. What do you think of the back three lineup today? Let me know, as I've never really liked this back three lineup of RB Leipzig. We always manage to seem to concede at least one goal whenever we have a back three. And I really wanted to see Peter Galacci in this evening and make sure that he puts a stamp on how he is as a goalkeeper. It's because of late he hasn't been very good. Even in that Leverkusen game, he didn't look very comfortable. Granted, Leverkusen are a good side, and we're going to make most goalkeepers look uncomfortable. However, he really needed to come into this game and get a clean sheet, just to really solidify just that he hasn't dropped off or anything like that. Although very good to see Martino van der Voort in goal, as he is definitely going to be the future more sooner than later, hopefully, for RB Leipzig. And by that I mean bleeding in new players is always something that we need to do, as we can't always rely on players that have been with us for many, many years, and then once they go, then we don't have the quality or the experience in that starting lineup. As Sturm Graz have the ball down on the right-hand side for them, near an attacking area, just towards the goal area. They'll be throwing into the box, and it comes straight back out for another throw-in. If you would like to say anything during this live stream, please make sure that you do comment along what platform you are watching on this evening, and I will highlight your comments. However, if you are watching this over on Instagram, I will periodically check, but you will need to jump over on to X, YouTube, or or Twitch to be able to be highlighted during this stream. RB Leipzig are having a bit of a hard time trying to get the ball out this evening so far. Let's just turn up the microphone a little bit there. It seems like I was a little bit low. There's another throw in for Sturm Graz out on the right-hand side this time. Big packed box there from RB Leipzig. Still no clearance though, as the play is now starting from Gertrude down on the left-hand side. Passes back to his goalkeeper and Martin van der Voort. And now he swaps sides towards the left-hand side as Bishebu and Nusart pass the ball. Noosa has been a little bit poor lately, actually, and he hasn't been very good in his defensive efforts. So I'd like to see his improvement sometime during this fixture as well. Seems to get caught out quite a lot and been missing the ball. And by missing the ball, I should be reiterating that and be saying that he's doing too many heavy touches with his dribbling. Sturm Graz have the ball forward, running into the box, and it's been nipped in the tracks there from, looks like that was Arthur Vermeeren. Although the clearance wasn't well, a couple of RBL players fall on the floor. Sturm Graz have the ball again in their attacking half, making their way into the box on the left-hand side. A shot from Sturm Graz goes over the crossbar, and it will be a goal kick for RB Leipzig. If you're just joining into this live stream watch along, welcome to the live stream watch along. This is the last live stream watch along of the Champions League fixtures this season. I am your host, Justin Crozer of the RBL Talk podcast, the biggest and number one podcast on RB Leipzig in English, your worldwide place to find all things RB Leipzig. While we have a little bit of a slow play here, Elif Elmas seems to be going to Torino, even though he was also going to go to West Ham. There has been many rumours about Elif Elmas, and it will be interesting to see in the coming hours where he will end up. Sturm Graz are holding possession quite well and keeping the ball away from RB Leipzig. Just playing towards their halfway line and also towards their back area. Now pass to their goalkeeper, who kicks the ball towards their attacking third. But it is offside for the Sturm Graz attacker. And that is Jatta. RB Leipzig are having a very hard time trying to get it past that attacking third. They make their way there, and it's just very difficult. Although there was almost an attack, and that looks to be Christoph Baumgartner. Looks to be just clipping the Sturm Graz goalkeeper. No foul there. He was going for the goal, and the Sturm Graz goes down with courage to stop the ball. And he does get his hands onto the ball and does end up stopping the shot. So no foul there. Was also a little bit of a heavy touch as well from Christoph Baumgartner after receiving a lovely little flick on from Yusuf Poulsen. Coming into the 10th minute, with play restarted from Sturm Graz by a free kick in the goal area. Both teams at the moment seem to be just feeling each other out at the moment. Funny enough, it looks like I've got the exact same hat on almost as Marco Rosa, except he is wearing a reverse colours. He's wearing a white and black one, which is ironically the colours of Sturm Graz. Having a look over at our Instagram followers over there. If you would like to get involved in the live stream, you're more than certainly able to watch it over there. But if you would like me to highlight any comments during this stream, you will need to go watch it over on YouTube, X, or Twitch. I will, however, be periodically checking over there and make sure you guys are not left out. So I will make sure that I reply back to you if you write any comments on the stream. Excuse me. At the moment, players still being very slow and methodical by Sturm Graz. They're passing around just near the, or I should say past the attacking third of RBL, as they make a little bit of a mess of that, and they have to tidy up some easily errors over there, with Baumgartner putting pressure on his colleagues. Sturm Graz now get the ball forward. Heavy touch is easily dealt with by the, excuse me, losing my voice a little bit there, RBL defence. Free kick given in the centre circle in the defensive half for RB Leipzig, as Baumgartner turns around and fouls their captain. If you're just joining in this evening for the live stream, welcome to the live stream watch along. This is the live stream watch along of the UEFA Champions League, the final match day of the UEFA Champions League watch along between Sturm Graz and RB Leipzig. I am your host this evening, Justin Crozer. I am the host of the RBL Talk podcast, your number one destination for all RB Leipzig things in English. If you would like to get involved with this live stream watch along as well, all you need to do is comment along wherever you are watching this, whether you're watching this over on X, on Twitch, on YouTube. Comments will be shown up on the right of your screens there, which you can interact with everyone who is watching these streams, and I can also put a highlight during the stream and respond to you in real time, as Martin van der Voort does a kick in and looked very untidy there, but it was easily dealt with by, looks to be Willie Orban. Bishebu, poor pass, and Sturm Graz are back on the attack again. Excuse me. Looks like Christoph Baumgartner has earned himself a free kick just in the RBL defensive half. RB Leipzig at the moment in the first, I would say we're about 12 minutes into this fixture, just gone into the 14th minute now actually, have been very struggling a little bit actually to be getting the ball into their attacking half, and once they're in the attacking half, they can't really get it past into the final third. They have gone back again now at the moment, playing from left to right, and again, a poor pass from Niklas Seiwald to Christoph Baumgartner, and Sturm Graz can try to make the most of it. Although we have looks to be a 3-on-5 here at the moment for RBL. Noose has come across to Baumgartner, needs to cross back, and unfortunately he has gone a little bit too far there, but does win himself a corner with a very, very heavy touch up towards on the left goalpost, as his cutback cross was easily dealt with by the Sturm Graz defenders. Niklas Seiwald with the corner kick up on the left-hand side. The cross was central and has been dealt with by the Sturm Graz goalkeeper. Left it very late until he gets a touch onto that. And he taps it towards the back of him, but there was no one to make use of that for RBL. Take 2 with a second corner, this time down on the left-hand side. Nicholas Seiwald again to take it. As the official is talking to both sets of players, as there's a little bit of argy-bargy in the box. Seiwald with the corner. Kicks in. Goes centrally, easily dealt with by Sturm Graz, and they have a fast break. Although it was easily dealt with by Willie Orban. Throw in for Sturm Graz down on the right-hand side for them, left-hand side for us. Sturm Graz work their way towards on the right-hand side, up the very top of the pitch. Just passing it around, trying to find their way through the RBL press. Most of the players for RB Leipzig are already behind the ball, just with 3 players not behind the ball. Baumgartner, Pausen, and Openda, which is the attacking trio today for RB Leipzig. With Xavi Simons out on the bench, being rested. We will most likely see him at some point in the second half. Sturm Graz tried to do a cross into the box, and it's gone past everyone and out for a throw-in down for RBL, with Gertruda taking it down on the right-hand side. Welcome to the stream. If you're just joining in the live stream watch-along, this is the live stream watch-along of the last match day of the UEFA Champions League season for RB Leipzig. This is RB Leipzig versus Sturm Graz, playing in Austria, in Sturm Graz's home stadium for UEFA Champions League games. I am your host, Justin Crozer. I am the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the number one place for all things RB Leipzig in English. RBL just passing the ball back around the back half of the pitch, just gone into the Sturm Graz defensive half now. Hard challenge on Antonio Nusa by the looks of things, and it's going to be a free kick in a dangerous position with Xavi and David Raum both not on the pitch. It's going to be quite interesting who takes this free kick. I would say it's either going to be Nusa or Nicholas Seiwald. Fun fact, in our last game against Bayer Leverkusen, we actually had a chance or goal scored for us when it came to the free kicks, and usually we've been quite poor. It's Nicholas Seiwald standing over this free kick. Let's see what he and RB Leipzig can do with it. Free kick comes in, central area. No one can do with it, and it's cleared easily by Sturm Graz. Excuse me. As it's very, very hard for them to make any sort of inroads at the moment. They're getting the chances, but passes like that, which was a poor pass from RBL, sees Sturm Graz try to get it away, but it's not going all according to plan at the moment. Nusa does cross it in, makes a double save. They're doing quite well, and especially the goalkeeper for Sturm Graz. We'll look over to the comments very shortly. Having a look over here, we have some comments from Sturm Graz. Hey there, Justin. Good competitive looking game so far. Both teams are getting a chance. Absolutely. That's Sturm in UK, and they are Archie and Dan, a father and son who are fans from the United Kingdom of Sturm Graz. If you haven't already watched the guest video of the last RBL Talk segment where I had them on the show, you can go and watch that after this live stream watch along. Welcome to the stream. If the game keeps going this way, I think it will be a... I can't remember who did the score between Dan and Archie, but I know one of you said 1-0. So as Noosa tries to change that prediction and goes forward, kicks the ball straight into the Sturm Graz defence, and they dribble the ball out of their defence. Not for long though, as Gertruda gets the ball back, or Gertruda, depending on what dialect you are from. And now RBL are just patiently passing the ball around, just creeping up to their attacking third and going back towards the halfway line of the pitch. Don't mind this patient build-up play, however we need to do something with it, as we've only got 3 players at the moment back in defence, and that is the 3 centre-backs. Willie Orban's playing centrally, Bishebu is playing out on the left, Seiwald on the right. We're going to be very exposed. I understand the formation meaning here with when we have a Gertruda coming back as well, to make it a back 5 defence. And Noosa as well out on the left-hand side to make that coverage as well. Although he's been very poor in his defence and tracking back. So if Sturm Graz were going to try to get any sort of goals, they want to be attacking the right-hand side for them as Noosa crosses the ball in, and Sturm Graz, again, very good at getting the clearance away. It's gone all the way back to Martin Vandervoort to restart the build-up play for RBL. Let me know what you think of the game so far. Make sure that you comment along wherever you are watching this, whether you're watching this over on Instagram, over on X, over on Twitch, or over on YouTube. If you're watching it over on the latter 3, I will be able to interact with you live and highlight any of your comments. You can also comment along on the right of your screens as well. Wherever you are watching this, you'll be able to comment along with anyone watching this on any platform. RBL just passing the ball back around now at the moment, just down on the bottom left of the pitch. Now changed it down towards the right with Seiwald. Really can't find a way at the moment through this press from Sturm Graz as Gertruda gets the ball. Back to Seiwald. They switch the play up towards the left. Sturm Graz plays a shift across as well. So it's going to only be a momentarily option to be able to pass through that. As Bishebu passes to Orban, long ball, and Orban has the ball, Noosa, and it hits the side netting. Oh, my apologies, that was Lewis Openda, as he was offside. Welcome to everyone just joining in the stream. My name is Justin Crozer. I am the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the number 1 destination for all things RB Leipzig in English. This is the final match day watch-along of the UEFA Champions League against Sturm Graz and RB Leipzig. If you would like to get involved with the podcast, all you need to do is comment along wherever you are watching this podcast. I will highlight your comments throughout the stream. Feel free to also chat with others who are watching the stream over on the right of your screens. As Marco Rosa is giving some advice to his players, making sure that they're in the right positions, just coming into the 25th minute now, with only roughly 20 minutes left of the first half to go, including injury time. Sturm Graz just passing the ball around. losing my voice during this live stream, which is never a good sign. Sturm Graz still just passing the ball around, although it has been... There's a foul here in a dangerous area. Sturm Graz fouls Lewis Openda, and he's down on the floor just by a careless little challenge there, just clipping the back heels of him as he's going through. It'll be approximately 20 yards out, free kick. This is where you would like to have David Raum or Xavi Simons. And Lewis Openda is asking for a bandage by the looks of it, for his hand for some reason. He is putting on a glove, surprisingly. No, it's a bandage. My apologies. Christoph Baumgartner over the ball, hits the wall and goes out for a corner kick. I'll find out from which side in a moment. If you're just coming into the stream, welcome. It'll be a free kick on the right-hand side for RB Leipzig and Nicholas Seiwald to take it. Just coming into the 27th minute now. Free kick, central area again. And Orban goes up, loops the ball, and it's easily dealt with by the Sturm Graz goalkeeper. Fast break happening for Sturm Graz out on the right-hand side for them, while RBL are trying to get back. And they do get back successfully enough to stop the fast break, and they now pass in their defensive half, passing from right to left. Nice long ball from Sturm Graz, but Nicholas Seiwald gets fouled by Jatta, and the free kick is taken quickly. As I was saying, welcome to the live stream watch along. This is the final match day of the UEFA Champions League for RB Leipzig this season, with a disappointing Champions League campaign. I'm your host, Justin Crozer, the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the number one place for all RB Leipzig things in English. If you would like to get involved with the stream, wherever you are watching this stream, whether you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, X, or Instagram, please make sure to comment along and I will highlight your comment through the live stream. However, over on Instagram, I'm unable to highlight it as it's a limitation from Instagram, but I will periodically check over there for all 26 viewers over there to make sure that I see any comments. As a fast break is now happening from Sturm Graz. And they've managed to have it a 2-on-2 here. If you could just get around Nicholas Seiwald down on the right-hand side. But he's unable to, goes back. Sturm Graz patiently building up for a chance. Both teams have been having their chances this evening as well. You would probably say RB Leipzig having the better bulk of those chances, although it certainly isn't anything to be happy about, as those chances have been few and far between, and RBL have been wasteful so far in the first 29 minutes of this fixture, where Sturm Graz have had their fair share of chances as well and have looked quite threatening going forward as well. Just struggling to get it past that halfway line as Haidara is caught in possession. And Sturm Graz have a fast break here. Just needs to get it central and unable to do so as the RBL defence comes back in numbers. About 6 players back. They push out towards the right-hand side. Now to go centrally. And a shot and an easy save for Martin van der Voort. First time he's got his hands on the ball this evening in the 30th minute mark. Having a look at some of the comments from Ferdinand Scholz. I do not understand why we are not getting any transfer or our squad is so small. It's insane. Yeah, absolutely. I've said from the beginning of the season actually that our squad is very thin, especially in key areas, central areas like the central attacking midfielder roles, where we have Xavi Simons basically trying to get cover for him and Nusa and Baumgartner, and also the left back for David Raum. It would always be good to see to have a little bit of competition, especially in the right back area where we only just got Riedel Baku as Benjamin Henriks has unfortunately been injured with the Achilles tendon injury, which I saw firsthand. When I was watching it, I called it straight away, as unfortunately it did look like his Achilles did snap and his just body gave out, which is a very painful injury to have. I've shattered my foot and I haven't shattered my Achilles tendon, but that was pretty painful as well. So you can only imagine the pain in that one. And yeah, look, we need to get another, at least probably another striker, a third striker, Yusuf Poulsen. As much as I love him, he's not really getting as good these days. He isn't really providing much in a sense of goal output. So you really need to have a third striker that can score to cover Lewis Openda and Benjamin Sesko. And then you also need another central attacking midfielder to cover, Xavi Simons and the like on that area. And then you also need to have at least a person that can play centre back and also a full back position. Gertruda was trying to be that player. However, I think he's been quite poor playing as a full back, and I would rather see him play as a centre back, which is his more natural positioning as well. But unfortunately for the club, they're doing as little as much as they can. And as Ferdinand says here, backup for David, backup for Sesko Openda, and one more COM. Don't know if you mean central attacking midfielder or if you mean a central defensive midfielder. But yeah, that would easily be it. And a couple of loan signings as well wouldn't be too bad. Just to move on some players, moving on, obviously Elif Elmas, who has been a complete flop. Loaning out other players like Vigo Gerbel, if he's not going to get any starts, which I would have started him during this fixture. And also other players as well to get their experience, even if they're going to not even another Bundesliga side, a championship side in England, or if they're going to La Liga or a second division Bundesliga side or something. Just anything to be able to get matchday experience being a first player on the team sheets. As 33 minutes are coming into this game, still 0-0. RBL have a throw-in down on the right-hand side, as there is a slight break in play for injuries. Just getting some medical attention is the Sturm Graz captain there. Just seems to be a little bit winded, and he'll walk that off. How is the game, Ferdinand? Not too bad. It's been a little bit lackluster in a sense of performance from RB Leipzig. However, we have had our chances. Our final ball hasn't been the greatest. Both Sturm Graz and RBL have had their fair share of chances, as the Sturm Graz have the ball now. They're going forward now as we speak, just down on the left-hand side. There'll be a throw-in for Nicholas Seiwald and RBL. It looks like Gertruda is going to take this instead. So it hasn't been too bad. We have had our chances. Haven't really taken our chances either, which has been a little bit disappointing. But also, you sort of got to expect this as well. Coming into the preview into this game, when I had Dan and Archie, who are both Sturm Graz fans from the UK, they said they've been quite well defensively at the moment as well. So as Antonio Nusa goes forward with the ball, and it's a free kick not a free kick, it's a corner kick by the looks of things for RB Leipzig down on the left-hand side. This is probably I think the third corner we've had at least in this half for RB Leipzig. Don't quote me on that. Don't have the stat sheet or anything like that in front of me. We can have a look at that now, actually. It's going to be I'm gonna go around on the page for a bit. Looks to be the fourth corner at the very least. RBL passing the ball around again in their defensive half, which Sturm Graz, to their credit, have been quite well defensively as they take a ball out. Excuse me. As they take another ball out, and it's a throw in a dangerous area for RB Leipzig. This throw in will be taken from Gertrauda down on the right hand side, easily able to throw the ball into the box with a heavy throw, which looks to be the go. No, it goes short to Openda, and Openda is beaten in the challenge, and the ball would be going away, but it's come back with Arthur Vermeeren winning the ball back quite comfortably. Excuse me. And it's a goal kick for Sturm Graz as Antonio Nusa takes the ball out of play, out on the left-hand side. They've been a little bit wasteful so far in this half. We have had plenty of chances, haven't really been able to get that final pass or that final shot away really either. We can have a quick look now at what has been happening in the statistical department, with RBL having 7 total shots to 2. No real big chances for either players. However, only 2 shots on target for RB Leipzig. Passing percentage is at 81%, which is not too bad. They've been winning most of the duels, 27-20. Both teams have been offside at least once. And I can't seem to find the corners here. Just going through a skim through this. Here we go. RBL have had 5 corners and haven't really managed to look very attacking, I guess you could say, or very threatening with those corner kicks. Something that RB Leipzig haven't really been doing well lately as of much. As we come into the 38th minute, RBL having another throw-in down on the right-hand side. Had a fair few throw-ins in this half, actually. Welcome to all new people coming into the live stream. My name is Justin Crozer. I am the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the number one place for all RB Leipzig things in English. This is the final match day watch-along of the UEFA Champions League, and it's between Sturm Graz and RB Leipzig. So far, with 38 minutes played, both teams are 0-0. RB Leipzig having the more chances of the two, however, not looking as threatening in the final ball going forward. Sturm Graz have had their chances and have been looking quite threatening as well going forward, as they have a free kick to restart play in the middle of the park. They have the ball down on the right-hand side, and it's gone out for a corner kick down on the right-hand side for Sturm Graz. Let's see what they can do with it, as statistically, RB Leipzig haven't been really great in their corners this evening. If you would like to get involved with this live stream at Watch Along, make sure that you comment along wherever you are watching this live stream, whether you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, X, or Instagram. Having a look at some comments now, one from Ferdinand Schultz. You think Rose is still the right coach? I do respect him a lot, especially because he's a Leipzig boy, but with the first team without injuries, we have to play better than this, and no excuses. So yes, I do believe that he is the right man for the job at the moment as of this stage. However, I do think he needs to adapt more. He has no plan B. So if plan A isn't working, he feels he's really lost and there's no plan B. I really don't like this back three. It's probably something that will grow onto me. I just feel that we don't have the players at the moment to track back enough on the fullback or wide midfielder positions. Today, that is Getrauda and Antonio Nusa, as it looks to be called out here going forward. And that looks to be a free kick not far. No. And it's gone out for a corner kick for Sturm Graz down on the left-hand side, by the looks of things. Going back to your comment there, Ferdinand. Yeah, I still think he's the right man for the job. But if he doesn't get minimum top four, and at least in the final of the DFB Pokal this season, I would be questioning, because he's had a butchered season. He's a terrible season. And then with the quality of the players that we've had, even though we've had some injuries, we have to be doing better than that. So if he misses out on the Champions League and we don't get into the final at the very least of the DFB Pokal, then yeah, it's not going to be looking good. I mean, from my perspective, I would be considering getting somebody else. Pardon me. Sorry for that clearance there in your ears. Amadou Haidara is the first player booked this evening, seeing a yellow card. Coming into the 41st minute, Sturm Graz has the ball just in the box, just gone past. Looks to go out for a corner kick on the right-hand side. Yeah, Ferdinand, look, I appreciate you agreeing with me, but no, there's some RBL fans that disagree with me, especially some of the locals. They love him so much, and I understand that, especially him being a local. But at the end of the day, you've got to look at it and going for the club going forward. And I will get back to that, as RBL have just conceded. And we'll just double check to make sure that there's no offside, because I didn't see that. I was replying to your comment there, Ferdinand. We will get back to that. Looks like Martin van der Voort was caught out. Mao looks to be the one that scored. I apologise if I've said that incorrectly to the UK Sturm Graz fans. That's a very, very poor from RB Leipzig. No one marked one of the players, had a back header towards the back post, and then it was just two shots. One was at Martin van der Voort, just parried it back into play, and then the young lad for Sturm Graz gets the ball back from the parry and now puts it home for a tap-in and 1-0. Don't worry, I will be getting back to your comments. So, Ferdinand, going back to really quickly, a lot of the local RB Leipzig fans, they don't agree with me as a sense. I think they, with pardon my pun, they have rose-coloured glasses on because he's a local and they want him to be there and succeed, and I understand that completely. However, when does it become, and from my perspective, from an international supporter, watching all these games and watching the club and how he's been and critiquing, giving praise where it is and critiquing when it needs to be critiqued. But I look at it from a fact of, when does it start being a marketing ploy from Red Bull, having a local man leading the local club, then if he's the right man to take us forward, to get us one of those real top teams in the Bundesliga and globally as well, like in Europe. So, and that's where we need to take that next step. That would come in time. It's not going to come straight away, but it will happen. Hopefully with Marco Rose. RBL have the ball back now in their attacking half, coming into the 44th minute. Let's just put up the scoreline and have us look at some more comments. Asmir Asmir, hello. I want to watch the match. Where can I watch it? Depending on where you are from, you need to check your local guides where you're watching it. Myself, I'm from Australia, so I'm currently commenting on the live stream with Stan Sport. They're the ones that have the rights to the fixture. And as I'm unable to show the actual games themselves due to copyright and broadcasting rights, I'm only commenting on the game itself and keeping you all updated as well if you're unable to watch it. And if you are also a listener of the podcast, you can get in-depth reviews of the games every week. Excuse me. Ferdinand Schultz says, again, the coach questions will not go away, especially if we are losing this match again. Yeah, absolutely. It's been a long... it's been long under scrutiny for quite some time now, Marco Rosa. As we're coming into 2 minutes of added time, I should say nothing. It is now half time. There we go. What do you think of the first half? Let me know in the comments wherever you are watching this. Let's just... So it's Malic, I do believe, and that looks to be like a Croatian type name. Let's have a quick look. It's Austrian. Let's make sure I can spell that correctly. And we'll go into some comments as well in this first half. There we go. Just putting that up for everyone that has only just come through the stream. It is at half-time. Sturm Graz 1, RB Leipzig 0, with Arjan Malic, 19-year-old Austrian striker, puts the hosts in front with his first European competition goal. If you would like to comment along during this live stream, please make sure that you do comment along wherever you are watching this fixture. We will have some quick Q&A and conversations while we wait. I will say what I think RB Leipzig have done wrong so far in this half. The final ball has been quite poor. We have not been more attacking minded. We really should have been, I guess you could say, ruthless, but without thinking of another better word off the top of my head. On paper, of course, that, we are the better side. However, Sturm Graz have defended well. They've kept their shape well. They've tracked back well. They've made it hard and difficult for RBL to make the chances and get chances in good positions. So that'll be something that probably Xavi Simons will come onto the pitch and do, which we really shouldn't have to rely on Xavi Simons in a game of this caliber. That's no disrespect to Sturm Graz and their fans or anything like that. But when you look at the golfing quality, you really shouldn't have to be relying on your star man to come on against a lower team, basically, to get the chances and, to score the goals or anything like that, which has been something that I've been critiquing for quite some time now, having Xavi Simons, the team around him, and without him, we basically are a mid-table Bundesliga side. So, and that's something that is pretty poor when you come to think of it. Having a look here at the comments. Dan and Archie, the Sturm Graz in UK fans. Welcome back to the stream. Wow, wasn't expecting to be up going into half-time. But there we are. What a great half. Absolutely. As I've just stated, Sturm Graz have been the better side. They've been able to track back quite well. They've been able to make some chances as well. And they've looked threatening going forward at every single opportunity as well. So that being said, RB Leipzig really have their works cut out for them as well. And if you haven't seen the interview that I had with Archie and Dan as well over there in the Sturm in UK, make sure that you have a look at the RBL Talk segment video or the podcast episode at the end of this live stream watch along and have their thoughts on the game. Going to some more comments. Ferdinand Schultz says, it's terrible we don't have any plan to play this Graz team, and it's not the first time. Yeah, I mean, it's the first time that we've played Sturm Graz, but it's not the first time that we don't have any real plan to play a lesser team, so to speak, I guess you could say. So that's something that RB Leipzig really need to deal with. I mean, it's a dead rubber. It doesn't really matter of the scoreline, but you really don't want to be losing against a lower seeded team, I guess, is probably the best way to say it, as respectful as possible, because at the moment Sturm Graz are playing a lot better side. But if you look at the UEFA coefficient rankings, obviously RBL would be higher up in that perspective. As for Asmir, if you're watching this from Turkey, I don't know who has the rights to watch the UEFA Champions League games over in Turkey. Maybe Sky or beIN Sports or something like that. So if you would like to, if you can watch that as well, and then watch into this stream. If you can't, that's fine, not a problem. I'll make sure that I'll be commenting along of all the action that's been happening throughout this fixture. Taking in some more comments when they come through. If you would like to get involved with this live stream watch along, please make sure that you comment along wherever you are watching this from, whether you're watching this over on YouTube, over on Twitch, over on X or Instagram. Please make sure that you comment along. If you do comment on Instagram, I cannot highlight your comments, so I will periodically check over there, and I'll be doing that shortly to make sure that you all are still getting involved with the live stream and don't feel too left out over there. But if you do comment on any of the other platforms, I can highlight your comments and show you on the live stream and interact with you live. We'll have a look at the stats very shortly, and we'll run down what has been happening with everyone for the listeners and viewers of this live stream watch along. I do know that not everyone does end up watching these live streams, but they do listen to them wherever they are. So RB Leipzig have been pretty poor with their corners. They've committed some fouls as well. So is Sturm Graz. They're both 6 and 5 respectively. Ourselves are the one that have committed one less foul. We have had 9 total shots to Sturm Graz's 4. We've only had 3 shots on target, which is approximately 33.33%. We've had 2 big chances, and so has Sturm Graz, but Sturm Graz have taken, that's getting a bit tongue-tied, have taken their chance, where RB Leipzig have not. As expected, RB Leipzig have been poor from the corners. The corners from Nicholas Seiwald, he's taken all 5 corners. They've all gone in the exact same position, basically, which has been centrally and around near the penalty spot ball. The spot for the free penalty kicks. So from a Sturm Graz perspective, they know pretty much where the ball's going. They're not kicking the ball, to the near post or the far post, or taking the ball short and then having another player cross the ball in instead. We're just a bit one-dimensional in that perspective as well. Good credit to Sturm Graz. They've shifted their defence quite well. They've backtracked well. They've squeezed space as well, so it's very hard for RB Leipzig to get the ball going forward. And they deserve every single thing that's coming to them at the moment by being up front in this fixture as well. So RB Leipzig have everything to play for when it comes to getting back into this game, and they really need to be a bit not as sloppy and have their final ball and their build-up play less, what's the word I'm looking for here? More accurate and more better quality. Especially considering that we've had 57% ball possession to Sturm Graz's 43%, and we just really struggled to get past that 3/4 of the way mark across the pitch, getting into our attacking third, and I found it very, very struggling to get that final ball as well. And that's credit also not just the poor play of RB Leipzig and their players. The quality has been poor, but that's also a credit to Sturm Graz and how they've made us have to, change positioning and change sides as well. They haven't made it easy for us by any means. If you're just joining into the live stream watch along, this is the live stream watch along of the final match day in the UEFA Champions League for RB Leipzig as they take on Sturm Graz over in Austria. I'm your host, Justin Crozer, the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the number one place to go for all RB Leipzig things in English. If you've just joined in and the scoreline and you're not viewing this, you're listening to this live stream watch along, it is Sturm Graz that are up 1-0 at half time. At the moment, Trolley, we haven't played well at the moment. We are down 1-0. So it is quite disappointing from an RB Leipzig perspective that we need to get the final ball coming in, and it's been quite poor. And we need to make sure that we're taking our chances. We've been poor from corners as usual. We don't really look like we've got a plan or anything at set pieces. It just seems to be the same ball going into near the penalty spot. So we just need to make sure that we're taking our chances that will come in the second half. Trolley, Willie Orban has been quite good. He's been intercepted quite well. He hasn't really done much else besides that. Is obviously his leadership skills on the pitch as well, which you don't always get to see. So he has been quite well. Probably one of the best players, I would say. And I'm not trying to be a little biased as he's my favourite player, but he has. He's done quite well. But then again, a lot of players for RB Leipzig haven't done well. If I were to pick out some players that have done quite well, Christoph Baumgartner has done well, even though he's missed some chances. Lewis Openda has had some chances, but he hasn't done anything statistically wise, but he's made the space and he's been a threat and taken away some Sturm Graz defenders. And I think both Arthur Vermeeren and Amadou Haidara have done quite well, even though Haidara has been booked with a yellow card. So we'll most likely see him subbed out at some point in the pitch this evening. And I would probably say Lucas Klosterman will probably be swapped out for him at some stage. I would like us to see and go back to a back four. I don't think this back three is working, which ironically enough, if you've got a back three, it means you're going to have an overlap and more players in attack. But more players doesn't automatically mean better opportunities or more goals. If you're just joining in, welcome to the live stream watch along of the last match day of the Champions League for RB Leipzig. I am your host, Justin Crozer, the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the number one place for all RB Leipzig things in English. Scoreline is 1-0 for the hosts. Sturm Graz are 1 goal up as RB Leipzig have failed to take their chances, and there is still a second half to play, and anything can happen. It's almost looking like that Dan and Archie, the Sturm Graz from the fans from the UK, which I had them on the show on the RBL Talk segment as well, as we have a plane going overhead. I'm not too sure if you can hear that. And they said it was going to be 1-1. I'm not too sure I think that was Dan that said that was going to be 1-1, or it might have been Archie that said that, because I think Dan said that it was going to be a 1-0 win, which is still quite possible as well with the way RB Leipzig have played. So, Trolley, it was the goal that was scored. I do believe that was Christoph Baumgartner, but he fouled the Sturm Graz goalkeeper when he ran in to take the shot. So he ran in. It was a heavy touch. The Sturm Graz goalkeeper managed to get down and tried to touch or save the ball. He managed to get a touch on it, and then Christoph Baumgartner basically just fouled him by kicking him or kicking the hands or the shin of the goalkeeper there, and he still got into the back of the net. But that is the reason why it was not given. And Just Sampson, welcome to the stream. How good was Vermeeren? Vermeeren's been quite good actually. He's intercepted quite well. He's backtracked quite well. I've liked his positioning on the pitch. He's been quite... what's the word I'm looking for here? Excuse me. Quite versatile, I guess I would say. Excuse me. He's been quite versatile. He's done quite well. I don't want to see him get taken off the pitch. He played a little bit poorly against Bayer Leverkusen, but I mean the young man's only like 19 years old, so he still needs to be playing in these games and get that experience, and he'll come good in the years to come anyway. Trolley says, "Do you think we can come back and win?" Yeah, I do, but if we don't score by the 65th minute, I'm going to say that we're not going to win. So we'll see if there's going to be any changes at halftime and a formation change or anything like that, as we're just about to start the second half. Let's add that back up again. Doesn't look like there's been any changes, so to speak, from an RB Leipzig perspective. Baumgartner or Openda are closer to the ball, with Openda most likely starting the play in the second half. Make sure that you get your refreshments, as we already have, and we'll start this second half as Openda kicks the ball back. As there's no changes so far from an RB Leipzig perspective. They do get the first chance going forward with Antonio Nusa fouled down towards the touchline. Still a good area to be able to get a cross in, although we haven't been that good when it comes to free kicks. It looks like Nicholas Seiwald will take the free kick again. If I was him, I'd be going towards the back far post and trying to get Powson on the end of the ball or Orban to head of the ball. But that is just me. It goes centrally again, and Sturm Graz are easily able to get rid of that. And it's gone out for, looks to be a goal kick, as Yusuf Powson is the last man to touch the ball. If you would like to get involved with the live stream, all you have to do is comment along wherever you are watching this, whether you're watching this from YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, or X. I do apologise if you are watching this on Instagram. I'm unable to interact with you and highlight your streams. I can see you all there, so welcome over there as well. And looking back at some of the comments here, it does say it was Dan that said the 1-0 win. There we go. So if you do want to get involved with the live stream, please make sure that you watch this live and comment along, and I will interact with you live by highlighting your comments. If it's over on Instagram, I will unfortunately not able to highlight it, so you'll have to jump over onto YouTube, Twitch, or X if you would like me to highlight your comments during this stream. Be quite interesting to see how forward attacking RBL take this first half, as I think if Sturm Graz do manage to get a goal here, and we might just get ourselves a consolation goal for how we're playing it to be a 2-1 scoreline finish, but at the moment it is still all to play for. As Sturm Graz try to take the ball forward, and fouled there by Antonio Nusa. And the Sturm Graz player loses their footing, or I should say their shoe. Do apologise there, my headphones are a little bit tight when it comes to how I'm wearing them. Normally I wear them without a hat, so... Welcome to the stream. If you're just coming into the live stream and watching this, I'm your host, Justin Crozer from the RBL Talk podcast, the number one place for all things RB Leipzig in English. This is the Match Day 9 watch along from the UEFA Champions League with Sturm Graz playing RB Leipzig. The score is 1-0 with the hosts leading. If you would like to get involved with this live stream watch along, all you need to do is comment along wherever you are watching this, and I'll interact with you live. RB Leipzig currently have the ball at the moment, passing it backwards, just past the halfway line of the pitch. Arthur Vermeer now has the ball going forward, passes to Bishebu. And Nusa does a nice turn and go, goes forward, has the ball still, passes inside, and then the final ball there from Openda was very, very poor, and a clearance is easily made by the Sturm Graz defenders. The throw-in is going to be taken from Bishebu. Passes to Amadou Haidara. Bishebu gets the ball back. Openda with a little flick on. No one reads it. And it's cleared by the Sturm Graz defence. Very poor pass and clearance there from Willie Orban, but it comes off okay. RBL passed the ball down to the left-hand side now with Nusa having the ball, trying to figure out where he's going to take the ball. I think he'll probably be most likely subbed off for Xavi Simons if Xavi's going to be coming onto the pitch, which personally I wouldn't worry about it so much. Openda now has the ball, cuts inside. Nusa gets the ball back towards him. Excuse me. And it's an easy clearance for Sturm Graz in the end, although it looked to be Openda again offside. So we'll have a small break in play here, approximately about 10-15 seconds maybe, as Sturm Graz receive a new ball. Looking back at some comments from Sturm Graz in UK, Dan and Archie. We were not expecting Malic to be a goal scorer tonight, or let alone start, as we believe there are better options than him. For example, the Scottish Max Johnson, but Malic proves us wrong. Yeah, absolutely. He was popped up in the right place. His first shot was quite good at Martin van der Voort, and because Martin van der Voort only parried the ball pretty much directly in front of him, poacher's effort, good positioning, and just had to tap that in for the 1-0. You guys have played quite well. There's no knock on how you guys have played whatsoever. Easily the better side, although RB Leipzig have had the more bulk of the chances. Just goes to show that you need to be clinical. It doesn't matter if you create 20 chances if you don't really do anything with them. As Christoph Baumgartner is fouled, and Lavalley, if I've said that correctly, number 24 for Sturm Graz, goes into the book with a yellow card. RBL just starting to pass the ball around. They'll probably take a little bit of time to get their mojo back in this half. And they've nice long pass up towards the top right-hand corner of the box. Cut back from, I'm not too sure who that was, but the last kick was from Baumgartner, which was straight at the goalkeeper, and it's out for a corner kick. I think that was Gertruda up there that did the beautiful cut back there. As Nicholas Seiwald again takes the corner kick. Let's see if he goes central again. Exactly the same spot as last time. Seiwald, I'm starting to get really annoyed with you. Start doing a different corner kick instead of kicking it into the same spot. Otherwise, if it's me, I'm taking you off corners. Too predictable. Go to the far post. Go to the near post. Start it short. Do something. Sturm Graz are having the ball all their way at the moment, just passing it around in their defensive third. RBL pressing quite nicely. However, Sturm Graz seem to be dealing with most things that are coming their way from RB Leipzig, as there is a long ball played to Martin van der Voort from Sturm Graz, and it's just passed to Bishebu, back to Orban, and Orban will pass to his right to Seiwald, passes in front to Gertruda passes to Baumgartner. Baumgartner with a heavy touch. And it looks like Sturm Graz have the ball, except it was a poor clearance from Haidara and an equally poor pass. Still works out for RB Leipzig down the left-hand side with Nusa having the ball, cutting inside. Stankovic with a beautiful challenge there, stopping Antonio Nusa and that attacking threat. RBL still have the ball, just passing around on the left-hand side with Bishebu and Nusa linking up together. Nusa cutting back inside. Attempts a cross centrally, but it's straight into the Sturm Graz defence. Clearance only as far as Seiwald. And a rushed shot by, looks to be Baumgartner, and it's gone straight out wide and out for a goal kick. Not looking like liking our chances at the moment. If we're just going to keep up this play, it'll easily be a 1-0 goal win for Sturm Graz, that's for sure. I don't want to have to turn around and, if it was me, put my main strikers on the pitch or my main players. For me, I would be taking off Baumgartner. I'd be putting on Goebel, just so he can get some experience. And, I would rather take something away from it with the loss instead of, getting a 2-1 win or something by putting Benjamin Sesko and Xavi Simons on the pitch. Considering I would rather play them coming up with other games in the Bundesliga. Especially considering we have Union Berlin coming up in the Bundesliga over on, looks to be Saturday night by the looks of that one. Sturm Graz passing the ball around in their defensive half, passing back to their goalkeeper. Now having the ball out on the left-hand side for Sturm Graz. Working the ball well, quite in some tight spaces there. However, it's gone out for a throw-in. Playing very close to that touchline there. If you're just joining in to the live stream watch along, I'm your host, Justin Crozer of the RBL Talk podcast. This is the live stream watch along of the final match day of the UEFA Champions League for RB Leipzig, as RB Leipzig travel to Austria to face Sturm Graz, where they're currently 1-0 down. And that is from Arjan Malic, 19-year-old Austrian striker, put the host in front and his first European goal as well. RBL looking quite shaky here. They're not really looking confident with their ball movement whatsoever, as Sturm Graz get the ball back for a throw-in out on that left-hand side for them. Doesn't look good for an RB Leipzig perspective. Who would you put on the pitch and when would you put them on? What are your expectations for this match? Do you really want RB Leipzig to finish off the Champions League season with a second win and 6 points? Or do you think that it doesn't matter what the scoreline is and you would just try to do something else, no matter what that may be? Having a look at the live table at the moment, it does look like having here, we're finishing 32nd if results stay the same. We're still going to be higher than Salzburg, who are currently losing 3-0. These final passes from RB Leipzig, I think, have been quite poor. Me personally, if the final ball and the product is going to be this bad, then we may as well be losing 2 or 3-0, to be bluntly honest. Even the final shot here from Lewis Openda, who was offside, really didn't do anything there, directly in front in goal. Looking at some comments here, Sturm in the UK, Dan and Archie have said, although, as you can agree, Leipzig had an awful Champions League campaign, at least you still get the bragging rights of being the top Red Bull club for now. But yes, I don't think it's mathematically possible unless RB Salzburg can somehow get back from 3-0 down in their current game. Unsure who they're currently playing at the moment. It looks like they're probably playing, looking at some of the fixtures, like Atletico Madrid is the most likely one that they're playing at the moment. So very poor from really both Red Bull clubs, and especially the Premier club, RB Leipzig, as there is an offside flag given against Sturm Graz. Clearly offside there by about a player and a half there. But who would you be putting on the pitch for an RB Leipzig perspective? Please let me know. If it was me, my first change is going to be Antonio Nusa for Gebel. I was going to put him on the pitch, give him some minutes, some experience in Champions League games. I'd be making these changes in about a minute, to the 60th minute mark, as Baumgartner also does a very poor cross, looking for Getrauder. So I'm also taking Baumgartner off. There's not really many other players that you can put on the pitch, because I would really not like to put Benjamin Sesko or Xavi Simons on this pitch, as I would rather rest them for the upcoming game against Union Berlin. The same thing with David Raum. I would probably put Casella Lekeba on, give him some running time out on the pitch, and I would put him on for Bishebu, even though he's played quite well. Depending on if we're going to keep this back three or not. If we're going to keep the back three, then I would, or just if we go to back four, I would take off Nicholas Seiwald, put Gertruda at right back. Bishebu comes central, and I would put on Casella Lekeba at left back. Obviously, that's going towards a back four, as Gertruda has the ball at the moment. Pass to Pausen. Baumgartner has the ball streaming towards goal, but heavy touches see him lose the ball. Although we've won the ball back with Vermeeren, Nusa with about 3 Sturm Graz players around him, to Lewis Openda, who gets fouled. Excuse me. Looks like RB Leipzig will have a free kick in an attacking area just down on the left-hand side for them, not far, pretty much halfway from the touchline to the box. Nope, and it looks like it was a different opinion from there. It looks like it was offside for Openda, as Sturm Graz have the ball instead. Willie Orban goes down with a bit of a slap to the face, and looks like it's a goal for Sturm Graz. 2-0, and guess who it is? Willie Orban gets a bit of a whack to the face. Let's have a look at what VAR decides to do. But it's William Boving from Denmark that puts the goal in quite comfortably, easily. I'll change the scoreline very shortly, just depending on what's happening here with VAR. As it does look like Willie Orban was fouled. It does look like there was a slap across the face, so I'm probably going to say that... hold on a minute. It could go either way, really, because both were in a bit of a tussle, but you still can't just smack it in your face. Very poor as well from... Very poor save from Martin van der Voort. The goal is now being reviewed, as both Orban and the Sturm Graz forward were jostling for position, and there is a slap on the right-hand side of Orban's face towards his chin. And I mean, it's 50-50. I'm not going to be disappointed if this doesn't get called back. That's fine. And it looks like the goal stands, which is I'm quite happy with. It really looked like it was 50-50, so happy to go that. Actually, no. They've decided to change it, and Jatta gets a yellow card, and the score goes back to 1-0. So I honestly thought that goal was going to stand, to be blatantly honest. and also a second booking, and this time for the Sturm Graz coach, as he gets himself a booking due to mouthing off at a touchline official there, which you cannot do. If you are watching this live stream watch along, tell me what you think of the game so far. My name is Justin Crozer. I am the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the number one place for all RB Leipzig things in English. If you're just joining us in, Sturm Graz are 1-0 up to RB Leipzig at home in Austria as Arjan Malic, 19-year-old Austrian striker, he put the hosts in front with his first European competition goal. What would you change and when would you change it? Trolley says Openda out, Sesko in. Openda hasn't really done much this evening, so I do agree with a change like that. Looks like I'm going to say that's Jurgen Samuel, but with the hyphens there, Samuel maybe. The manager there for Sturm Graz who gets the booking. 3 changes here for RB Leipzig as Sesko comes on, David Raum and Xavi Simons, which I don't know why we're putting all our experienced players on. Personally, I would be playing some of our younger players, but whatever. And the players that make way for them is Yusuf Poulsen, Nicholas Seiwald, and I'll get that third player for you once they come off the pitch. Yusuf Poulsen, Nicholas Seiwald, and Christoph Baumgartner are your 3 players that have been swapped out for Xavi Simons, Benjamin Sesko, and David Raum. And that has happened just on the 65th minute mark, coming into the 66th minute, as RB Leipzig look to stop themselves from, I guess you could say, being humiliated in Austria by losing to Sturm Graz. Take nothing away from Sturm Graz, they've played quite well. Doesn't look like there's going to be much of a formation change. We're still playing with this back 3. David Raum gives the ball away, and Sturm Graz to make them pay? No. The ball has gone out towards the left-hand side of Martin van der Voort and goes out for what looks to be a goal kick. Doesn't look like there was any touch from an RBL defender there. And I don't know why David Raum gave the ball away within the first 30 seconds of coming on the pitch, but it has taken a deflection and it's Boving on the right-hand side for Sturm Graz, who will kick the ball from the right-hand corner side. Corner comes in towards the back post. It was going to say easily cleared by Xavi Simons, but he does a fresh airy, barely touches the ball. Sturm Graz looking more threatening by the minute. Boving tries to cut in. It's stopped by, looks to be Xavi Simons there. Sturm Graz still got the ball in their attacking half, down on the right-hand side. Openda attempts to make a challenge, and it's just gone out for a goal kick. Welcome to the live stream. Watch along if you're just joining in. My name is Justin Crozer. I am the host of the RBL Talk podcast, your number one place for all RB Leipzig things in English. If you're just joining in, Sturm Graz are 1-0 up at home from young Malic, scoring his first European goal and also the first goal of this evening. RB Leipzig have had their fair share of chances, had their fair share of corners, and have been quite poor. We have had players that were taking a break on the pitch. They were Benjamin Sesko, David Raum, and Xavi Simons, who have now made their way onto the pitch. And Boving takes a shot at goal, and Martin van der Voort easily gets behind that one. Sturm Graz are actually looking more attacking with every forward attack they have as the minutes go past. What do you think of the game so far if you've watched it so far? Do you think that RB Leipzig will come back and get a draw at the very least, or possibly win this game? Or do you think that RB Leipzig have been too poor and will not get any points from this fixture? Me personally, I wouldn't have put on Xavi Simons, Benjamin Sesko or David Raum. I would have rested our players for the upcoming game against Union Berlin in the Bundesliga. As Raum gets his first chance, crosses the ball quite well, but a bit too close to the Sturm Graz keeper. But his first cross of the game so far. As I was stating, I was not going to put them on. I would have rested them for our upcoming Bundesliga fixture. And I would have liked to have seen younger players come onto the pitch in Viggo Gerbel, Lionel Vufak, and I would have changed a few other players as well coming onto the pitch. Maybe change from a back three to a back four. Take Nicholas Seiwald off, as he's been quite poor with his set pieces. That being said, there's not many other players that we can have that weren't on the pitch for our set pieces. As we're going to see the first look of Castello Lekeba, who's been out quite for some time lately. Hopefully we do now go to our back four. And I would be taking off Nicholas Seiwald, as we've already got Xavi Simons on the pitch and David Raum, who is our normal free kick specialists. So we can afford to be taking off Nicholas Seiwald, move to a back four. Gertruda on that right side goes back to right back from right midfielder. And then we have Castello Lekeba. Bishebu is playing on the left-hand side at the moment as left centre-back. He just moves to centre-back next to Willie Orban, and we'll put Lekeba on the left there. Having said that, though, we do have David Raum on the pitch, so that would also be a contradiction. I would most likely say that it's going to be just a straight swap for one of the three centre-backs. Most likely Bishebu, knowing Marco Rosa. As we have a throw-in from Gertruda on the right-hand side. Bishebu passes to David Raum. And it's a sliding challenge from Sturm Graz from Malic, who actually wins the ball, surprisingly. Looks like it came off of David Raum, which it did. It came off his shin, which is good to see that his shins are fine after being pivoted on from Florian Ritz in the last game against Bayer Leverkusen. And it's Bishebu off and Lekeba on, as I called just moments ago. It's very sad when you know your predictions so well from your manager. It's a bit too predictable. But then again, I wouldn't be in the position that I would be if I couldn't predict it. As we go forward this time with Vermeeren trying to pass the ball through some press. Sesko has the ball, goes left towards the left post and the goal line, and it tries to cross in, but it's easily defended and it's gone out for a throw-in. David Raum will take the throw. Does look like it's gone for a corner. My apologies. And it looks like Xavi Simons will take the corner. Going to some comments at the moment from Lolo, interesting name. You think Leipzig will come back? I would say no, I don't think so. I think it's too far gone. I don't see, even with Xavi Simons on the pitch, David Raum and Benjamin Sesko, those players are going to take some time getting into this game. And at the moment, they've been quite poor. And I don't think that in the next 17 minutes or so that we'll be able to score a goal. Sturm Graz with the restart of play from a goal kick. Going forward with Boving by looks of things. Nice turn and go from Sturm Graz. And from Jatta gets the final ball, but Shukwani, I do apologise, number 21, actually gets that ball and skies it. Looks like it took a bobble quite possibly, as some more changes are coming on this time for Sturm Graz. And it's Jatta that comes off the pitch for Kamara. Got some more comments here. There goes Malic is Bosnian defender, not Austrian striker. My apologies. If one of my work colleagues are also watching this, he would be quite disappointed at that, as he's Bosnian. Let me have a look. It says right back from Austria. So, and this is from One Football over here. 19-year-old right back. So I can change that a little bit there, but it is a right back, not striker. There's a throw in here at the moment for RBL down the left-hand side near the managers on the touchline. If you're just coming into the stream, welcome to the live stream watch along of the final match day of the UEFA Champions League. I'm your host, Justin Crozer, the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the number one place for all things RB Leipzig in English. If you're just joining in, that Sturm Graz are in front 1-0. With their fullback getting their first European goal this evening. And that came in the 42nd minute of the first half. I don't think RB Leipzig will be able to come back with a draw, as they've been playing very poorly, even though at the 65th minute mark we saw the trio of David Raum, Xavi Simons and Benjamin Sesko come onto the pitch. We also have Castelli Lokeba back on the pitch after injury, getting his first few minutes after substituting with Chadel Bishebu. Raum with the throw-in to Sesko, back to Raum, down the left-hand side. Poor pass centrally from David Raum. It's cut off by Sturm Graz in the central areas. And there's a foul there from Xavi Simons. And that stops the build-up play for RB Leipzig. And Sturm Graz can start running down the clock a little bit in no hurry. That's quite interesting. It does actually say he's Bosnian on transfer market. David Raum's just won a corner for RB Leipzig. Let's see what they can do. David Raum's going to take the corner kick as well down the left-hand side. Hopefully it's not central again like we've done all night. It does go centrally, but it curls in from towards the back post. Easily dealt with by Sturm Graz. Sturm Graz have the ball forward now, and the last shot from camera goes straight into the midst of Martin van der Voort. Coming into the 78th minute now, a quick play straight to David Raum, who now has a throw-in. Excuse me. If you're just joining in, welcome to the live stream watch-along of the match day 9 of the Champions League, which is against Sturm Graz and RB Leipzig. with RB Leipzig travelling to Austria. The news is that Sturm Graz are 1-0 up from their Bosnian right-back, who has scored their first European goal on the 42nd minute mark. RB Leipzig have been playing very poor. They've had multiple chances and have been poor in their chances, including corner kicks, and have been very poor in getting those deliveries into the good areas. And there's only going to be 11 minutes left of normal time in this one. Yeah, Lazic, that is a little bit verbally abusive and not good for people. So I'm going to have to deal with that eventually. But yes, look, if you don't like RB Leipzig, that's fine, but this is not the place for verbal abuse or anything like that, as this live stream watch along is for people of all ages and any sort of abuse will not be tolerated. As David Raum fouls Sturm Graz and out on the left-hand side, just by nudging them under the ball, putting his elbow into the ribs or into the back there. Clear foul. Wouldn't be surprised if it was a booking. However, it's just a spoken to from the official. And we run into the 81st minute. Marco Rosa doesn't look like he's very comfortable there with these hands in pockets. And he's going to put on Lucas Klosterman by the looks of things. Which I don't know why you would go for a defensive change unless you're going to go back to a back four. But then if you do that, you're going to have to take off most likely Willy Orban or something like that. Or it could be a straight swap for Guttrauder, actually. Going back to some comments over on Instagram. We'll have a quick look over there for the 29 people there. It says, can you say hello to Felix, please? Hello, Felix. If you're watching this stream over on Instagram or wherever you are watching this stream, from FFFelix19, hello. And going over onto another comment here over on YouTube from Sturm in UK, that is Dan and Archie, to RB Leipzig fans, apologies, Sturm Graz fans over in the UK. Can you see a late winner from Leipzig or Sturm sealing the deal and scoring a second, or even Sturm simply parking the bus and setting for a 1-0 game? I don't think you guys will park the bus, as you said that you play attackingly, and I don't think that's going to be your best option to get the 1-0 if you do park the bus. I do think you'll concede if that's the case. However, I definitely can see you guys grinding out this 1-0 win, and I can't see a goal from RB Leipzig to draw this. So it's quite possible that you could also get a second goal on a counter-attack. It just really depends on how poorly RB Leipzig are going to defend. RB Leipzig currently have the ball out on the right-hand side with Xavi Simons winning a free kick. Let's see what happens as the final change for Marco Rosa and RB Leipzig come on the pitch. It's going to be Lucas Klosterman. I'm going to take that. It'll be Guttrauder that will probably come off the pitch, although Xavi Simons is going to take the free kick first. If it was me, Xavi, I'd be going down for the far left post, as this is on the right-hand side. Comes towards the close post. And it's dealt with quite easily after a poor attempt from RB Leipzig across the face of goal. Now there's going to be a goal kick for Sturm Graz and an easy reset for play. As I called it, Guttrauder's coming off the pitch for Lucas Klosterman. Another fresh comment here from Sturm Graz in UK, or Sturm in UK. Absolutely don't think we'll park the bus, and also we're definitely not Leipzig fans. Yes, I know, that's my apologies. I did a little bit of a tongue twister there, and you guys are definitely not RB fans, as I wouldn't have had you on the show as Sturm Graz fans as well. So, yeah, my apologies there, Dan and Archie. David Raum has the throw in down the left-hand side, just in their defensive third at the moment. He throws the ball to his captain, Willie Orban, who passes over to Klosterman. Still playing with his back three, which, I've said time and time again, it doesn't work. Klosterman to Vermeeren. Nice pass down towards David Raum, all the way far on the left. Good to see great vision there from Arthur Vermeeren. Castello Lekeba to Haidara. Haidara's poor pass up towards the right side of the box. Goes out, and he's not happy about it, slapping his hands together. Very filthy. Right idea, though. Just the poor execution, and it's gone out for a Sturm Graz goal kick. J.O. Silva, we really want to see Simmons' goal here. Celebrate him being back. Yeah, wouldn't mind Xavi scoring, but like I said earlier, I don't think we will actually get a goal in this game. With the execution and the final ball has just been really poor, and I don't see us getting a goal anytime soon. And I think that Sturm Graz are pretty much home and hosed, barring any major defensive errors from their behalf to get us back into this game. As Sturm Graz do attempt to go forward, although it's picked off quite comfortably by David Raum. Passes to Lekeba, who passes to Vermeeren. Great idea and vision and ball. However, Lewis Openda is unable to get the ball down and control it, as Marco Rosa is very animated out on the touchline as Sturm Graz make their final change for this evening, with Stankovic coming off the pitch for, I'm going to say, Herlander. We only have 3.5 minutes left of play in this match, not including any added time in this fixture. RB Leipzig have been very, very poor, and quite honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Sturm Graz can just net a late winner just for the seal the deal for this fixture. As RB Leipzig have been pushed back with Willie Orban on the ball at the moment, passes long and high to the right, making Antonio Nusa work the ball in an aerial duel, which he loses, and Sturm Graz have the ball and attempt a fast break, although the pass is cut out from Willie Orban with a great interception. More comments here from Sturm in UK over there with Dan and Archie. Justin, are you surprised by how poor the German clubs have been in the Champions League this season, with 2 teams out? Not surprisingly, no German teams in the top 8. A little, yes, but not from our perspective. So RB Leipzig have been quite poor even in the Bundesliga this season as well. So where we've really done well this season is more in the DFB Pokal, which is the cup. So, the Bundesliga is one of the top teams in Europe, and you would expect more teams, as in, Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich, get through. So, yeah, look, most of the teams have actually gone through to the next stage, or I think they're going through to the next stage, the German clubs. They're just not in the top 8, so they have to play in the playoffs. Obviously, that for the sake of ourselves, both teams, including RB Leipzig, we're nowhere near that. The top, I think it's 24 that do play in that playoff round. But yeah, I haven't been surprised by how poor we have been. After the, I think it was if I remember correctly, after the Juventus game, that was pretty much it. When they were down to 10 men, we still managed to lose that game, and we were in the lead as well. So we ended up losing that game 3-2. So coming into the 89th minute now, Marco Rose's side is going to have to really do something about it. In all honesty, I'm not surprised that we're not winning this game, but it is very disappointing in how we have gone about it. You just expect from an RB Leipzig perspective that the final ball is going to be a lot better, as Sturm Graz easily deal with the weak RB Leipzig attack here, and it seems to... No, Xavi Simons has fouled their Sturm Graz current captain, and Herlander, and it looks like it's going to be a free kick almost close to the corner kick line. And he did keep it in, and then he did get fouled with Xavi Simons just running straight through him, elbowing him in the ribs and just throwing him pretty much into the corner there. Well, I'm going to say this for you, Domiko. If you're going to talk about with your wallet, then maybe you should think about what you're doing. It's never a good decision to be putting money aside that you can't afford to lose. As going into the final minute here, I'm going to guess that we're going to have about 3 minutes of added time as we wait for the touchline official to bring up the board with the minutes. And that is 4 minutes of added time, not far off. So RB Leipzig have 4 minutes left to try to salvage a point in the final game of this UEFA Champions League fixture. If you're just joining in the live stream watch along, my name is Justin Crozer. I am the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the number one place for all RB Leipzig things in English. Sturm Graz are leading 1-0 with just 4 minutes left of added time to play in the final UEFA Champions League watch-along of the season. RB Leipzig getting a wriggle on with a throw-in, attempting to try to get the play going forward quickly. However, it looks like Camara has the ball. There was a 1-on-3, poor pass from the left, easily dealt with by Willy Orban and Arthur Vermeeren. And there's a quick play now from RB Leipzig. Nice vision to Openda, who is just poor and does win a corner kick, though, as there was no offside by the looks of things. If I'm a Sturm Graz fan right now watching this game, I wouldn't be having my head in my hands because RB Leipzig have been very poor from corners this evening, and I expect the same from this final corner. I expect the corner to go centrally and for it to be easily dealt with, and that's what's happened all night. Looks like Xavi Simons will take the corner kick down on the left-hand side. Kicks it in. Goes right into the goal area, straight to the Sturm Graz goalkeeper. As I said, very poor from corners all night and didn't expect anything different from that corner. Coming into the third minute of the 4 minutes of added time with a goal kick restart play from Sturm Graz. Or I should say Sturm Graz. RB Leipzig starting play again with a throw-in down the left-hand side. David Raum attempting to start play very quickly. Wasting time in the last 10 seconds here. Balls ping-ponging around between Sturm Graz and RB Leipzig as Sturm Graz have the ball and going forward now. Again, RB Leipzig caught out on the break. Arthur Vermeeren trying to track back. And a final shot there from Sturm Graz from Katishvili goes over the crossbar. And it will be a restart play for RB Leipzig with Arthur Vermeeren going to attempt to get the ball up forward, hopefully very quickly. to try to score a equaliser, but I don't think that's going to happen. I will be saying and taking up some comments at the end of this fixture as well, this live stream. If you would like to stay tuned and have some talking afterwards, we will do that as well until the comment section dies off a little bit, and then we will close out the stream. As we come into the final few seconds of added time with the goal kick, RB Leipzig get the ball forward with a very long goal kick, and David Raum does the last play with a cross cut back into the box, easily taken from these Sturm Graz defenders. Sorry, Sturm Graz goalkeeper. And that is it. This will most likely be the final kick of the game from the Sturm Graz goalkeeper. He kicks it, and that is correct. And that is it for this evening, with RB Leipzig losing their final game of the UEFA Champions League against Sturm Graz in Austria. No surprises there. And Dan and Archie are correct with one of their predictions, with one of them, to Sturm Graz fans in the UK, one of them predicted a 1-0 win, which I do believe that was Dan who had predicted that one. And it is full-time in Austria, with Sturm Graz beating RB Leipzig 1-0. I'm just going to stay here and wait for some comments to come through to the live stream as well. Watch along. If you're just joining in, my name is Justin Crozer. I am the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the number one place for all things RB Leipzig in English. I'll stay back and take your comments as well through the last few minutes here. Dan and Archie, Sturm and UK fans, thanks, Justin. Commissionerations, speech impediment showing up now, to you, nothing but the upfrontmost respect to you and your services, and we'll make sure to DM you and get a shirt sent over to you. Yeah, thanks. As we were discussing with some of the technical issues that we had during our RBL Talk segment video and recording, you said that you were going to give me a shirt, and I was going to say I would have worn it today if we could have gotten it from the UK to Australia very quickly, but unfortunately that was about 3 days and it's not possible. So, but yeah, look, yeah, that's fine. If you want to send me a shirt, no problem. I'm not going to say no. Thank you for that. Trolley says, so disappointing. Yeah, that's going to sum it up as well. Conrado, my apologies there. I don't speak what your language is there, so I'm just going to have to quickly put that into a translator service here, just momentarily. And I'll just put that into English. They said they had only one thing to do, and that is in Spanish. So Conrado Falco, who's Spanish, says they only had one thing to do, and that is correct. They had one thing to do, and they failed. Trolley says, after this disappointing half, can you recommend an RBL game to replay without telling the result? Now, in what sense do you want me to recommend a game? I can recommend some games, but if you're going to look back and try to watch a game or something like that, then yeah, I possibly could, without telling the result. I'm going to probably say the DFB Pokal final against SC Freiburg is probably a good game to go back and go and watch, I would say. And that's not a bad game for any by any means. But I won't say that and spoil the result there, but you probably would know the result of that one. If there's any more questions or comments, make sure to comment and go through on this live stream, whether you're watching it over on Instagram, over on X, over on YouTube, or over on Twitch. Thank you all so far for getting involved with the live stream. I will answer any questions you have so far this evening before going and closing off the stream. The next RBL Talk podcast will have the preview of this game from the live stream watch along as well. So please make sure to end up watching that. Like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you would like to get involved with and get notifications of the latest live stream watch alongs when they're scheduled. The same thing if you want to join the RB Fans Discord as well. You can join the free RB Fans Discord and you can chat with other RB fans around the world as well. You also get notifications in the RBL Talk community there for the RB fans when the next live stream watch alongs are happening as well. If you also want to be an RBL Talk member, and you can get benefits that not others get, including exclusive content, including raw footage of the video episodes of the RBL Talk segment, including getting episodes early, you can go over there to Patreon and become an RBL Talk member, or you can go over to Ko-fi and you can tip the show for as little as $1 if you like as well, just to help with the podcast. Another comment here from Trolley. Who do you think the official man of the match will be? I'm going to say the goal scorer, the young Bosnian there, Arjan Malic. I probably said that you're wrong. The 19-year-old right back, as he's the one that scored the goal. So I would take it that he would be the one to get the man of the match. Not too sure who it's going to be though, but it's certainly not going to be anyone for us. I will still stick around for a little bit longer while we still have some comments before I close off this live stream watch along. And if you're just joining in, the news is that RB Leipzig finished their last UEFA Champions League with a loss in Austria, losing 1-0 to Sturm Graz. Trolley says, if it was one of our players, then who would you say the man of the match would be? To be honest, most of our players played quite poorly, so it's very hard to be able to pick an RB Leipzig player. That being said, I do think that Arthur Vermeeren played quite well with his vision, his passing, and his positioning throughout the game as well. So the young 19-year-old has been on and off when it comes to his games that he's played. Sometimes he's been poor, sometimes he's been average, but today he's been quite good, and we're starting to see him slowly evolve into this RB Leipzig lineup. But let me know, who do you think was the best player for RB Leipzig? Let me know in the comments below wherever you are watching this, whether you're watching this over on Twitch, YouTube, X, or Instagram. Let me know who you think the best player for RB Leipzig was this evening. I'll stick by for a few more minutes before that we close off the stream. If you would like to get involved with the end of the stream, make sure that you do comment along wherever you are watching this from. I am your host, Justin Crozer, the host of the RBL Talk podcast, the number one place for all things RB Leipzig in English. And if you've just joined in or you're just listening to this stream, RB Leipzig lose their final match day of the UEFA Champions League, rounding out a very poor UEFA Champions League season, losing to Sturm Graz over there 1-0. And I spoke with Dan and Archie, two SK Sturm Graz fans from the United Kingdom, just recently before this fixture, and they were involved during this stream. They did say that, I believe it was Dan that said it was going to be a 1-0 win for Sturm Graz, so well done there, picking the right scoreline. As there are no more comments through the live stream here, I'm going to sign off this evening. I've been your host, Justin Crozer, from the RBL Talk podcast. The news is in Austria for RB Leipzig. They go down against Sturm Graz, I should say, 1-0, with Malic, the 19-year-old Bosnian right back, who puts the hosts in front with his first European competition goal, and he ends up putting the only goal in this fixture. Make sure to please follow and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. Make sure to put the notification bell on YouTube as well, so you know when the next live stream watch-alongs are happening and when the next RBL Talk guest segments are coming in video format over there as well. Thank you very much for everyone who has come in today and joined in the live stream. Thank you to Trolley. Thank you to Falcao over there. Thank you to Dan and Archie, the Sturm in UK supporters over there. Thank you over to everyone else. JR Silva. Thank you to Felix. Thank you to Lazic over there as well. Thank you to Lol who joined in as well with an interesting name there. And thank you everyone else as well. I'd also like to take this moment to thank all the RBL Talk members and thank you for watching this live stream. If you would like to get more content, make sure that you like and subscribe. I've been your host this evening, Justin Crozer. Bye-bye for now.